Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we delve into the heart of the automotive world. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the Chinese electric vehicle industry. While official statements paint a rosy picture, the ground reality tells a different tale. The recent imposition of new tariffs in the US and Europe has put a damper on Chinese expansion into Western markets. Many companies are in a critical state, and it seems Chinese EV makers have been painting an overly optimistic picture. Here are 5 reasons why. Reason number 5, the deception of Li Auto. Li Auto, one of the many Chinese EV companies, appeared to be a beacon of promise. Its advanced technology, well-established manufacturing infrastructure, and impressive business plan attracted a plethora of international investors, including those from the United States. However, these investors now feel deceived by the Chinese automaker as they grapple with substantial losses. So, what went wrong? Li Auto launched a project for a model named Li Mega, a futuristic van that was expected to be a bestseller. Despite its advanced technology, luxury features, and impressive range of over 700 kilometers, or 435 miles, the Li Mega's polarizing design and the market's preference for crossovers and SUVs led to a lower demand than anticipated. Yet, Li Auto presented an unrealistically high number of orders to attract more investment. As the first quarter of this year concluded, the numbers were at least 22% lower than expected. Despite Li Auto's claim of over 100,000 orders, the actual number of deliveries ranged between 76,000 and 78,000 vehicles. As a result, Li Auto is now facing a class action lawsuit from US investors, alleging that the company overstated the demand for its vehicles, particularly the Mega minivan. Reason number 4, the decline of BYD. The lawsuit against Li Auto is far from an isolated incident. Many Chinese companies employ similar tactics to attract new investors. With the ongoing price war and fierce competition in the domestic market, they are all in dire need of fresh capital. Even leading companies like BYD are currently grappling with financial difficulties. Despite claiming to have outperformed Tesla globally in the last quarter of 2023, BYD's sales significantly dropped in the subsequent quarter. In the first 3 months of this year, BYD sold no more than 300,000 EVs, a significant drop from the 526,000 units reportedly sold in the last quarter of 2023. The situation worsens when you consider that BYD instigated a price war in China, resulting in a modest profit of $630 million, 47% lower compared to the fourth quarter of 2023. Despite being China's leading EV company and the world's second-largest EV maker, BYD primarily relies on the domestic market, with 95% of its sales in China. The chances for Western expansion seem bleaker than ever, especially with the American administration's recent announcement of a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs and Europe's new measures to protect its auto industry, including higher tariffs. With the current slowdown of the domestic market, BYD's future doesn't seem as bright as it once did. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Reason number 3, the stagnation of major Chinese EV companies. Chinese EV giants, once the epitome of growth, are now stuck in a rut, as reflected in their plummeting share values. Take NIO, for instance, a company once hailed as a promising Chinese EV maker. It has been revising its sales projections downwards, from an initial 33,000 to 30,000 vehicles for the first quarter of this year. Insiders suggest that even these revised figures weren't met. To put it into perspective, NIO delivered 31,041 vehicles in the first quarter of 2023, indicating a significant stagnation. The intrigue deepens when you consider that the first quarter sales represent a sharp drop from the last quarter of 2023, when NIO delivered over 50,000 vehicles. The total sales for the last year were around 160,000 vehicles, a figure unlikely to be repeated given the current trends. This stagnation, coupled with reduced prices due to the ongoing price war, has created a perfect storm, resulting in a significant drop in NIO's shares. American investors are feeling the pinch, with NIO's ADRs having lost 43% of their value in the last 12 months. Reason number 2, BYD's quality quandaries. Legal hurdles aren't the only roadblocks for Chinese EV makers like NIO. They're also grappling with significant quality issues, as reported by European and Japanese customers. Recent reports indicate that Chinese export vehicles often require numerous repairs before reaching their final destination. For instance, Japanese sources have reported scratches, while European reports have highlighted mold issues, suggesting inadequate treatment of vehicles by the Chinese company. However, these issues aren't confined to Western markets. BYD, for example, has received complaints in Thailand about peeling paint and plastics. In Israel, there have been reports of BYD cars warping under the weight of roof racks. These issues underscore the need for BYD and other Chinese companies to focus on logistics as they expand abroad. These aren't manufacturing defects per se, but rather issues that arise during transportation. It's clear that Chinese companies need to maintain tighter control over global shipping routes. Whether these problems are false alarms or serious issues that need addressing is still up for debate. However, the fact remains that over 10,000 BYD vehicles have been languishing in European warehouses for months, awaiting sale. Reason number 1, the overcrowded and oversaturated Chinese EV industry. Recent developments in North America and Europe, including the imposition of higher tariffs on Chinese-made EVs, have complicated matters for the Chinese EV industry. The industry's growth, which was predicated on the assumption of significant overseas sales, is now facing a harsh reality. The clock is ticking for Chinese EV companies as their business models struggle to sustain in the face of domestic market limitations. Despite China's massive population, the production of Chinese EVs far outstrips domestic demand. XPeng's CEO, He Xiaopeng, reveals that the Chinese EV industry's current capacity is around 20 million vehicles annually. However, this year's delivery estimates hover around 9 million, indicating that Chinese EV makers are operating at less than half their capacity. Remember, this includes over 90 registered EV makers. While the major players are likely to weather these turbulent times, smaller manufacturers may not be so fortunate. Suggestions of mergers among these smaller companies are circulating, but given that the top 10 EV makers, including Tesla, hold over 80% of the market, these proposals may not be much help. The rest are vying for a mere fifth of the market, signaling the start of an anticipated EV bloodbath. It's an elimination phase, and it's only a matter of time before the number of Chinese EV companies dwindles to a handful. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Chinese EV industry. Don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit to get notified for the next vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time.